founded in 1709 by Antonio Deza y Ulloa as Real de Minas de San Francisco de Cuellar. By being in the transition zone between the plateau and the desert, the city receives little average annual precipitation, between 400 and 500 millimeters, most of which are present in July, August, and September. The term hieroscape is derived from the Greek word hieros, which means dry. Basically, hieroscaping is the art of creating water-conserving landscapes by efficient watering techniques and selected plants that are appropriate to the surrounding natural environment, using only a fraction of the water needed by traditional lawn-dominated landscapes. The first plan is a base plan which shows the major elements of the current landscape, including the footprint, walkways, and all existing trees, shrubs, and garden beds. Base plan should also show directions and should include the location of spigouts, downspouts, and external electrical outlets. You have to take into account the regional and microclimatic conditions of the site, existing vegetation, and topographical conditions to supply your hierophilus with the most optimal mixture of plants. The better the soil, the more successful a hierophilus will be. Soil is made up of three main types of particles: sand, silt, and clay. One easy way to improve both clay and sandy soil is by adding lots of organic material, such as aged compost and/or manure. The ideal way to do this is to spread 3 to 5 inches of organic material over the top of the existing soil and rototill as deeply as possible. It is important to be familiar with local climate conditions to determine the plant's optimal soil conditions. A hierophilus is basically a dry garden, but this does not mean that the only plants allowed are cactus and other desert perennials. There are a large number of plants that do well in an arid climate with little or no supplemental irrigation. The trick to water-wise gardening is to put the right plants in the right place. From a water management standpoint, turf is recognized as one of the most effective plant covers to reduce runoff and erosion while recharging the groundwater, which results in more efficient use of rainfall. Turf has a tremendous mitigating effect on the environment. For example, research documents that a turf area can be as much as 30 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than a concrete or asphalt surface, and 10 degrees Fahrenheit to 14 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than bare soil. This cooling effect from the average lawn is equal to more than 8 tons of air conditioning. The average home central air unit produces 3 to 4 tons. Turf also absorbs dust and other air pollutants and produces oxygen. Keep water close to the ground. Avoid the oscillating type of sprinkler that sends water high into the air. Stationary sprinkler heads that keep the water fairly low, or sprinklers that move horizontally from side to side, are less prone to evaporation and windshrift. Drip, microsprays, bubblers, or emitters are the most efficient for watering flowers, shrubs, and trees. Design your sprinkler system or plan your hose placement so that a given zone or hose placement waters plants with similar watering requirements at the same time. For automatic sprinkler systems, never mix different irrigation methods on the same zone. Mulch is an essential component of gardening in arid and semi-arid climates for several reasons. Mulching minimizes evaporation. It cools plant root zones, which reduces the amount of water plants lose through evapotranspiration. It reduces weed growth and it helps control erosion. Mulch also adds a finished look to the garden. There are two basic types of mulch: organic and inorganic. Organic mulch is wood-based, such as pole peelings, chipper chips, cedar chips, and deco bark. Inorganic mulch is stone-based. Types of inorganic mulch include cobblestone, river rock, pea gravel, and lava rock. The objective of Herophilus maintenance is to discourage water-demanding new growth on plants. In other words, keep plants healthy, but do not encourage growth at all times. Depending on your current level of maintenance, this may require you to fertilize less often with less fertilizer, to prune only when necessary and lightly when essential, and, of course, to irrigate less.